The phone wouldn't stop ringing. It was August 18th, 2024, and somewhere in Washington, D.C., a man who had been in cryptocurrency since the beginning, someone who'd turned early investments into a fortune worth hundreds of millions, was watching his world unravel. Alert after alert, notification after notification. Someone, somewhere across the ocean, was trying to break into his accounts. He didn't know it yet, but the person trying to help him on the other end of the line was the very person orchestrating his destruction. 1 month later, FBI agents would storm a waterfront mansion in Miami. Inside, they'd find a 20-year-old with no visa, no job, and no permanent address. What they would also find would shock even the most seasoned investigators: evidence of one of the most audacious cryptocurrency thefts in American history. But let's go back, because this story doesn't start with the FBI. It starts with a question that nobody was asking. How does an unemployed kid living illegally in America afford to spend $500,000 in a single night? The Ghost. October 2023, Los Angeles. A young man steps off a plane at LAX. His name is Malone Lam. He's 20 years old, and he's from Singapore. He's entering the United States on a tourist visa, the kind that gives you 90 days to see the sights and go home. But Malone Lam has no intention of going home. What happens next is almost invisible. No job applications, no apartment lease, no paper trail. He moves like smoke between Los Angeles and Miami, two cities where money talks and questions are rarely asked. At nightclubs, he becomes known for one thing: excess. We're talking $500,000 in a single night. Luxury cars appearing in his name, mansions rented for prices that would make most people's yearly salary look like pocket change. And yet, officially, he doesn't exist. No employment, no residence, no visible source of income. The question everyone should have been asking was simple: where is the money coming from? Nobody asked. Not yet. The phantom threat. Let me tell you about the art of manipulation. Somewhere online, in the encrypted corners of the internet, two usernames start appearing together. Anne Hathaway, with $3 signs, and Versace God, also known as Skidstar. These aren't random gamers or crypto enthusiasts. These are identities being carefully crafted for something bigger. Behind Anne Hathaway is Malone Lam. Behind Versace God is his partner, Jean-Biel Serrano. And together, they're hunting. Their target? A high net worth individual in Washington, D.C. Someone who got into cryptocurrency early. Someone who understood the technology, who'd watched Bitcoin rise from dollars to thousands of dollars, who'd accumulated a fortune that most people couldn't even imagine. Someone who, despite all that knowledge and experience, was about to make the biggest mistake of his life. Here's what makes this brilliant and terrifying. Lam and Serrano didn't need to hack into encrypted systems or break through firewalls. They understood something much more powerful. Humans break easier than computers. The setup. Picture this. You're sitting at home, and your phone buzzes. Someone tried to log into your Google account. From Russia. You dismiss it. Probably just spam, right? Then it happens again. From China this time. Then Germany. Then Brazil. Over and over. For days. Your phone is lighting up with warnings. Someone, somewhere, is trying to break into your digital life. You can feel your heart rate climbing. This isn't spam anymore. This is real. This was the victim's reality in the week leading up to August 18th, 2024. What he didn't know. Every single one of those alerts was fake, carefully crafted, sent through proxy servers and VPNs to look legitimate, designed for one purpose: to make him afraid. Because fear makes people do things they wouldn't normally do. Fear makes people trust the wrong voices. And fear was about to cost this man $230 million. The call. August 18th, 2024. The phone rings. Hello, this is Google Security. We've detected multiple unauthorized attempts to access your account. We need to act immediately to protect you. Here's the thing about a good con. The setup is everything. You don't just take. You give first. You solve a problem. You become the hero. And right now, to a man who's been watching hack attempts flood his notifications for days, these voices on the phone sound like salvation. He gives them his security codes. Why wouldn't he? They're from Google, aren't they? On the other end of the line, in a location that would later be revealed in court, Malone Lam is already inside the victim's Google account. He's searching, methodically, through emails, through OneDrive, through every digital footprint this man has left. And then he finds it. Records from Gemini, a cryptocurrency exchange. Screenshots would later show the moment of discovery. Messages between Anne Hathaway and Versace God, celebrating their find. But they're not celebrating yet. They're still on the phone. The extraction. Sir, we've discovered your Gemini account has also been compromised. We need you to transfer your funds to a secure wallet immediately. Think about what's happening here. The victim believes his accounts are under attack. He believes he's talking to security professionals. And now, they're asking him to move his money to safety. He complies. Approximately $3 million in cryptocurrency flows into a wallet controlled by Malone Lam. Most criminals would stop here. $3 million is life-changing money. But Lam and Serrano aren't most criminals. They want more. They want everything. For your security, we need you to download this remote desktop program. It'll allow us to secure your system. The victim downloads it. And just like that, Lam and Serrano can see everything. Every file, every folder, every keystroke. They're inside his computer, watching in real time, while Jean-Biel Serrano keeps him on the phone, distracting him, directing him to open files. Can you open your cryptocurrency records? We need to verify the security of your wallets. He opens them, and there they are, the private keys, the passwords to his Bitcoin wallets, the keys to a fortune that would make most lottery winners look poor. In the cryptocurrency world, private keys are everything. There's no bank to call, no fraud department, no insurance. If someone gets your private keys, the money is gone, forever. While Serrano talks, Lam moves. Over 4,100 Bitcoin start transferring out. At that moment's value, more than $230 million. The victim is still on the phone, still believing he's being protected, while his entire fortune drains away in real time. Screen recordings captured it all. Every transfer, every click, and right there in the footage, the usernames, Anne Hathaway and Versace God. The call ends. The victim thinks he's safe. Lam and Serrano have just pulled off one of the largest single-victim cryptocurrency thefts in American history. The spending spree. Now comes the dangerous part. Cryptocurrency leaves a trail. Every transaction is recorded on the blockchain, a public ledger that anyone can theoretically trace. So, how do you spend $230 million without getting caught? You wash it, clean it, make it disappear and reappear somewhere else. Lam and Serrano use mixing services, sending the cryptocurrency through dozens of exchanges and wallets in patterns designed to confuse anyone trying to follow the money. They use peel chains, breaking massive amounts into smaller transactions, scattered across hundreds of addresses. Think of it like turning a single $1 million bill into thousands of smaller bills, then depositing them into hundreds of different banks across the world, all at once. And then they start spending. 31 luxury cars, Lamborghinis, Ferraris, Porsches, mansions in Los Angeles and Miami, including one on exclusive Hibiscus Island for $68,000 a month, another in California for $47,500 monthly. But the nightclubs, that's where it gets truly excessive. Lam walks into high-end Miami clubs and drops $500,000 in a single night, not over a month, not over a week, one night. Jewelry, watches, designer handbags, gifted to strangers like party favors. For exactly 30 days, Malone Lam lives like he's untouchable. He isn't. The end. September 18th, 2024. Exactly 1 month after the theft. Jean-Biel Serrano steps off a plane at LAX, returning from what he probably thought was a victorious vacation in the Maldives with his girlfriend. FBI agents are waiting. His girlfriend immediately warns Lam. In a panic, Lam deletes his Telegram account. He's scrambling now, trying to erase evidence, trying to disappear like he did when he first arrived in America. But you can't disappear when the FBI is already at your door. That same day, agents raid the waterfront mansion on Miami's Hibiscus Island, where Lam has been staying. The Miami Herald would later report it was a celebrity favorite Airbnb. Inside, they find Malone Lam, 20 years old, no visa, no legal status, and access to one of the largest cryptocurrency thefts in American history. At other locations, agents seize luxury cars and watches. But here's the chilling part. Of the 31 cars Lam purchased, 22 are still missing. Hundreds of millions in cryptocurrency, some of it seized, the rest gone. The Reckoning, November 14th, 2024. Malone Lam stands before a judge in Washington, D.C. He's charged with conspiracy to commit wire fraud and money laundering. Each charge carries up to 20 years in prison and fines up to $250,000, or twice his gains from the crime. Do the math. Potentially 40 years behind bars and fines reaching hundreds of millions of dollars. Surprisingly, Lam requests a speedy trial. His attorney tells the court they'll vigorously defend him. As of now, he remains in custody in Virginia, scheduled to return to court on January 9th, 2025. The victim, whose identity remains protected, lost over $230 million in a single night. Unlike traditional bank theft, there's no FDIC insurance for cryptocurrency. What's gone is gone, forever. The truth. So how did a 20-year-old with no technical hacking skills pull off one of the biggest crypto heists in history? Here's the uncomfortable answer. He didn't need to be a genius. He didn't need sophisticated malware or zero-day exploits. He didn't need to break encryption. He just needed to understand one thing. People will do anything when they're scared. Lam and Serrano created fear, then positioned themselves as the solution. They exploited trust at the exact moment their victim was most vulnerable. It's a con as old as civilization itself, just updated with cryptocurrency and remote desktop software. The scariest part? This story isn't unique. It's a warning. As more wealth moves into digital assets, the opportunities for these attacks multiply. Lam's case proves you don't need to be a master hacker to steal millions. You just need to be convincing enough to make someone believe you're there to help them. His lavish month of freedom ended exactly where it began, with a phone call. But unlike his victim, there was no one Malone Lam could call to save him.